Hi, my name's Beth. I'm currently designing a web app through Bubble. And as part of this, what I really wanted to do was be able to display a user's Instagram content on my platform. I tried setting up an API with Meta and I literally watched countless videos. I blew through my ChatGPT free quota like every single day for over a month, and it was really, really hard. For context, I'm a physio by background. I literally have no tech experience, but I just kept at it and eventually I was able to do it. And through this process, it seems like a lot of people are having issues with this. So I thought that I would film a little tutorial on how I managed to get it to work, and hopefully that will help some others too. So as I mentioned before, I have zero tech background, but if I'm able to do it, then hopefully you can too. Let's crack in. First things first, we need to check that we have the following things set up. So obviously you need to have a Facebook account. If you don't, that's going to be a problem. So go ahead and sign up. Secondly, you should have a Facebook business page for your business and make sure that you're an admin for it. Thirdly, as we're aiming to pull data from Instagram, you need an Instagram account, and this needs to be linked to your Facebook page and either a type business or creator. Lastly, you need to ensure that you have both a Meta Business portfolio through the Meta Business Suite and a Meta for Developers account. Your Meta Business portfolio controls who owns Instagram accounts and pages, while the Meta for Developers controls how apps talk to Meta. So they're not the same thing, but you do need both of them to be able to get this whole thing to work. Sign up to Meta Business Suite first, which you'll be able to do with your Facebook account. You then need to make sure that you add your Facebook and Instagram pages to the portfolio as assets and that you, as the business admin, have full control. Next, sign up to Meta for Developers, which you can also do with your Facebook account. And once you've done that, we're going to create an app from our app dashboard. Now, on the app dashboard, which you can access through that top bar, we're going to create a new app. We'll give it an app name, maybe test app, and then click next. Under use cases, filter by all, and then scroll down until we find managing messaging and content on Instagram. We're going to click that. You'll notice that a few things have blanked out. That's okay. We only need this one for the moment. So click next. Now, this is really important. We have to connect our business portfolio, which you should have just set up, to your app. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my business portfolio to my app, and you should do the same. Then we'll click through next to get to the end. Click go to dashboard, enter your password. Okay, and we should be back on the dashboard, which we are. Now, next thing is we're going to click into app roles and roles, and we're going to add ourselves as a test user. Okay, you can see we've got my business account, my Facebook account. We're going to click on the add people and then Instagram tester, and you're going to look up the account that you want to link up. So I'm just going to look up my account, BethCroft97. Click there and add. Perfect. Okay, on our Instagram dashboard under settings, we're going to scroll down until we get to website permissions, apps and websites, and on the fourth tab under tester invites, we can see here that we've got a request from our test app, and we're going to click accept there, and that's been authorized. Back in our Meta app, if we give it a bit of a refresh, we can see that we're no longer pending. Also, just going to add my business account, Endorser AU, as well, because we're going to give permission to both of them. So same process, we're adding it as a test user, and then we're giving permission in the Instagram app. Okay, in our Bubble app, we're going to go into plugins and we're going to look up the Bubble API connector. So I've already got it installed, but we can add the plugin, look up API connector. I mean, it's there as the first one, and you'll click install there. In the API connector, as I said at the start, I got this set up originally, so that's my one there. But for the purposes of this, we're going to add a new API. Now, from my understanding, obviously under Meta are both Facebook and Instagram. Apparently now, if you want to log in to Instagram, you have to log in via Facebook. And that's why you need to have a Facebook account linked to an Instagram account in order to set this up. All right, we're going to be super original and call this next one Facebook Login to API. And the authentication type has to be OAuth 2 User Agent Flow. And when you click on that, you're going to see that there's a heck ton of fields which appear. And this got me stuck for a really long time. So we're just going to go through this step by step. Back in our Meta app, we're going to click into App Settings and Basic. And at the top here, we can see we've got the app ID. So I'm going to copy that, go back into Bubble, and I'm going to paste it in both the app ID and the development app ID. I actually don't know whether it has to be in both, but it worked for me when it was in both and not one or the other. Back in our app settings, we also have the app secret. I'm going to click show and you'll have to type in your password. You'll see a warning come up that says, don't share this with anyone. Now, to be clear, I have tried to blur this out in this tutorial with my lame tech skills, but I actually have reset my password after I filmed this video. So if you get snippets of it, what you're seeing isn't the real one. I just wanted to make the point that it's important to keep this private. So copy your secret and then paste it into the app secret and development secret. Now we're going to set up our scope. Back in our Meta dashboard, we're going to click on use cases and then we're going to customize our Instagram API. Once we're in here, we're going to click on permissions and features. And you can see there's a whole bunch of permissions and features that we can add to our app. So I don't actually know exactly what we need, but basically when I did this the first time, I just added a whole bunch that I thought I might need at some point. So I'm just going to go through the ones that I added at that point. So business asset user profile access we'll add. Instagram public content access, add. Business management we'll add. And email we definitely need. Instagram basic we'll add. Scrolly rolly, Instagram business basic. Instagram business manage insights. Instagram manage insights. Pages read engagement we'll add. Pages show list we'll add. And public profile is already on there. Okay, back up the top, we're going to click into API setup with Instagram login. And I'm just going to click this add all required permissions. And that should have a nice green tick. And then API setup with Facebook login. And I'm going to click the add required content permissions here as well. Wonderful. Last thing to do on setting up these scopes is to go into Facebook login for business and configurations. And we're going to create a configuration here. We'll give the configuration a name, maybe test scope, and click next. Then we're going to click general, there's no other options. Our access token is a user access token, and next. And then for the permissions here, we're going to select business management, email, Instagram basic, Pages read engagement, pages show list comes with it. Nice. Those 5 should do us. And then we'll click got it. And I want you to head back into the Bubble API connector now. Okay, the scope is related to the permissions that we just set up. So I'm just going to paste in the 4 that we need, which are Instagram basic, public profile, pages show list, and pages read engagement. And those are down in the description of this video. Then we're going to leave each of those unchecked except for use a generic redirect URL. I want you to check that and then copy the URL. Back in your Meta dashboard, we're going to click into Facebook Login for Business and Settings. We're then going to scroll down to the field that says Valid OAuth Redirect URIs, and we're going to paste the URL we just copied into that, and then click Save Changes. All right, we're getting super close here. We've just got these last 3 fields down the bottom, and I'm just going to paste in the URLs that we need there, and I'll put them in the description of this video for you to paste in too. Okay, now we need to set up the workflow in our Bubble app. So I'm just going to go into the Design tab, and I'm going to grab myself a button, pop it on the page, and we'll call it maybe Login with Facebook. And then click to add a workflow. Okay, the action that we're adding here is sign up/login with a social network, and our OAuth provider is going to be that API Facebook login to API or whatever you called yours. And now I'm clicking back into my design tab and I'm going to run my app. But we're just going to pause here and I need to make sure that you've done an important thing. If, like me, you've already signed up with your app as a user with your email, you need to log in as that user to then run this workflow. The reason for this is that workflow will either try and sign you up as a user using your Facebook login, or it'll try and log in using your user already. So if you're already signed up, it won't be able to run either of those things. And when you try and click the button running the workflow, you'll get an error saying this user has already signed up. Okay, so once you've logged in, let's click our button and we should now get a pop-up from Facebook asking us to continue as you. And when we click continue as Beth Lopez or whatever your name is, we're then going to opt in to give permission to our app to the pages that we want. And same for the Instagram accounts. Then we get a review. And we'll click save. And it says Beth Lopez or whatever your name is has been connected to the test app, which is great. We'll click got it. And hopefully we should get this wonderful pop-up saying you've successfully initialized the OAuth 2 connection for API Facebook Login 2. You can go back to the editor and keep building. And we'll click OK there. If we click back into our plugins and the API connector, hopefully you should get this lovely message saying this API is correctly set up as an OAuth provider, which makes us feel all warm and fuzzy, especially if you struggled with this for months like I did. And now we're going to set up our GET call. So you're going to click to add a call. We'll give it a name, maybe just Facebook API call 1. We're going to use as data. It's a GET call, and I'm just going to paste in the URL that we need, which is in the description of this video. Okay, I'm just going to do a disclaimer here, which is that obviously I got my original API call set up and working with my Facebook and Instagram account. Throughout this video, I've started to create this second fake API call so that I could walk you through the steps. But at this point, I now can't authorize the same Instagram account on multiple different calls in my same Bubble app. So what that means is that I'm going to show you the setup of the rest of the GET calls using my original API call. So you keep going with your one. You might just notice that the names of my call change slightly. So now you're going to click initialize call, and hopefully if you've done everything correctly, you should get this pop up for the returned values. So you can see we've got the name, the ID, and the Instagram business account ID, which is going to be an important field for us. So we'll click save there. And now we need to go into our data tab, and we're going to add a piece of data to our user. So we're going to add Insta user ID as a text element, which I've already done. So field name, Insta user ID, field type, text, and create. I've obviously already got this one, so I'm not going to click create, but you go ahead and do that. Now go back into your design tab, find the login button and click edit workflows. Remember, our first step is to sign up or log in with an API. Just here, I'm going to switch my OAuth provider back to my original call, but you should leave yours the same. We're then going to add a step 2, which is going to be make changes to current user. And the field that we're going to change is the Insta user ID. And the value for this is going to be get data from an external API, and then our first get call, so the Facebook login Facebook API, click close. It then should have, so Facebook login API, Facebook API's data, and it's going to be the first item's Instagram business account ID. So what we're doing here is that when we want to get a user's Instagram content, we will need to send the account ID to Meta so it knows which Insta account we're trying to get the data from. So our workflow here is that someone logs into their account, we then save their Insta user ID into our data, and then we can send that user ID in future get calls to get the content that we want. All right, so go back into your API connector and we're going to add another call. So maybe call this one user data or user profile, and we're using as data. It's a get call, and again, I'm just going to paste in the URL that we need. Now, because this one has a parameter, the Instagram user ID, we've got a field coming up, the key Instagram user ID, and we'll need to put a value in here. And yes, you guessed it, that value is going to be the Insta user ID that we would have just saved in our workflow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll up to my original call, remember, but you should go to your Facebook API call 1, and you're going to click reinitialize call. And we've got some data here, the Instagram business account ID. I want you to copy that value, and then we're going to paste it into this value box. And we're going to keep the private box checked. That's what makes it dynamic. Okay, you're going to click initialize call. Obviously mine's not working, so I'm back up on mine, clicking initialize, and we can see that we're getting returned values like name, our username, our followers count, the media count, and then our ID. So it's wonderful that that's working, and we're going to click save here. Okay, we're getting super close here. So we're going to add one more call, and we'll call this one user media. This one's also a get call, and we're using it as data. I'm going to paste the URL in, which again is in the description of this video. This one's also got the parameter Instagram user ID. And for the value, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to paste in that same value that we got through our first get call. When we click initialize call, we're now getting data from a user's Instagram posts. So we can see that we've got the ID, we've got the caption, we've got media type, for example, image, we've got the media URL, and we've got a timestamp. So we're going to click save there. Okay, now we're up to the fun part. So we're going to go into our design tab, and this is where we set up how we're going to display the data that we've just pulled. Okay, I'm going to get a group, pop it on the page, and then I'll get a text element and pop it in the group. I'm going to type in username, and then we'll get dynamic data, and we're going to get data from an external API. And we're going to do our Facebook login API user profile or user data call. Okay, when we enter that, we can see that now we've got the opportunity to put in dynamic Instagram user ID. So we're going to do the current user's Insta user ID. And then we've got Facebook login API user profiles username. Okay, we're going to copy and paste this text element, and we'll change the dynamic data to user profiles follower count, and we'll change username to followers. So here we're displaying our username and then the number of followers. Okay, next we're going to grab an image and drop that on the page. And in the dynamic data here, we're going to get data from an external API. And this time it's going to be the Facebook login API user media call. And again, we'll put in dynamic data, current users, Insta user ID. And then close that. And then we're going to do user media's data and each item's media URL. So on this Instagram account, there's only one post, so it's just going to show that one image. You could also do a repeating group with an image in each cell, and that will display multiple of someone's Instagram content. Okay, now you just need to rerun your app and log in again through Facebook to re-authenticate. And the reason is because the first time we did it, we didn't have the workflow to save the Insta user ID, so it's not going to be saved and pull that dynamic data. So rerun it again, and then we're good to go. Okay, I've re-logged in, and I'm going to navigate to the page. And there we go. The data is displaying. So we've got username, endorser AU, followers, 5, must be Insta famous. And then we've got the one image there, and that's displaying properly. Oh, how good! Thanks for following along with me. I hope you managed to get yours working. Feel free to post a question in the comments. I probably won't know the answer, let's be honest. Chuck us a like and subscribe if it was helpful. I'm hoping to film some more content to show you how this amateur bumbles her way through designing a web app. So I might see you soon. Bye.